Hey guys, hope y'all doing good today. So today we're going to talk about basically what the market's doing and some altcoins I'm looking at, some technical analysis, and then some news articles for the drop and where I think we're going from here. So it's going to be a good show. I'm going to have Dudewall, he's one of the moderators in our Discord, as well as a couple others. Going to be talking about a lot of good stuff today, so stay tuned. I'll give about a couple minutes for everyone to start, and then we will get started. All right, let's go ahead and get this stream started. So first of all, let's go ahead and look at the market. So as everyone knows, we had a huge crash the past couple of days. Bitcoin's now down around $39,000. Actually, let me refresh this. It's actually at 35,300. Ethereum's at 2420. And then we have, again, most of the altcoins are in the red. We had a nice little bounce today, though, on some. Atom's been actually doing pretty good, up 10% to 32.88. And then we have Crow actually up 6% to 36 cents. And you can see Phantom has actually been a strong performer, up to $2.20. One of the big reasons for Phantom being up, again, Andre Cronje, basically one of the big proponents of Phantom. He is working on a coin pairing. It's called V33, and it's basically a new type of system for, it's going to be an airdrop to the top 20 TVL Phantom ecosystems. So a lot of big people are buying into this. It's a huge drop that's going to happen. So that's one of the reasons why the Phantom ecosystem has been doing so well. Looking down the rest of the coins, BitTorrent surprisingly is up 18%. So that coin's doing pretty good. And then scrolling down, a couple others, we can see that XDC Network's up 6%. And that's basically it for the top 100 coins. Now, we're going to go straight into it. I'll go into some articles for the reason for the crash and kind of what the sentiment is right now. And then I'm going to go over some technical analysis for our viewers. And if you have any questions along the way, please go and leave a comment below and let me know. And I'll definitely talk about that in the stream. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So right now we can see for the first article, it is by Cointelegraph. It says El Salvador buys its cheapest 410 Bitcoin as price reaches 36,000. So as you know, El Salvador has been a big proponent of Bitcoin. Okay, so the president basically legalized Bitcoin as a currency, and then they bought a lot and are really using that for their currency more so than regular fiat. So that's kind of was a big first bullish catalyst a lot of people have been riding on. And I know a lot of people have been asking, well, aren't they losing a lot of money right now? Technically, yes, but as you can see, they just keep buying Bitcoin because they see it as a long-term viability and a long-term solution for their currency problem. So it says, President Nayib confirmed that the purchase of 410 Bitcoin was made against $15 million, placing the trading price at approximately $36,585 per BTC. The Central American country of El Salvador has added 410 Bitcoin to its central reserve as prices trade below 37,000, a price last seen on July 26, 2021. It says the fresh addition to El Salvador's BTC reserve was announced by President Nayib Bukel, who confirmed that the purchase of 410 BTC was made against $15 million, placing the price, again, approximately $36,000. And then it says Naeem, a tweet account, he said, nope, I was wrong, didn't miss it. El Salvador just bought 410 Bitcoin for only $15 million. So again, you can see basically any dip that happens, the president's buying a lot of Bitcoin. Now that's showing some conviction, and for a whole country, that's saying a lot, okay? So this got to give some people some confidence here. And this was made, this tweet was made January 21st. So again, this guy is very, very bullish on Bitcoin, and I believe we'll have a catalyst with a lot of other people seeing that as well. And then you can see here, El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as a legal tender on September 7th, 2021, as a means to overcome catastrophic inflation amid weakening spending power of the nation. Okay, fast forward to today, they've accumulated over 1,800 BTC over the past 4 months, especially when the market sees a momentary price fall. So again, Warren Buffett quote, buy when others are fearful and sell when others are greedy, right? So now the market's really fearful, so he is buying some Bitcoin. So that is something just to keep in mind. Basically, we can see the month-on-month growth of crypto owners by Crypto.com. We can see right now that basically the global crypto owners month-over-month growth continues to happen. Okay, so you can see consistently raising percentages of crypto holders, which is good to see. We do not want to see this number go in the negative because that means there is a declining number of global crypto owners. So definitely good to see here. And then it says, if we extrapolate a similar rate of increase in 2022, we are on track to reach 1 billion crypto users by the end of 2022. The report concludes that a combination of developing nations following El Salvador and a friendlier stance towards the crypto industry means that nations can no longer afford to ignore the growing push towards crypto by the public. So again, that's great to see. I mean, one, you have the president of El Salvador leading the charge here, and then you have a lot more people just, again, getting involved in crypto. And this chart, just seeing the global crypto owners month over month increase is something that is extremely good to see. So definitely bullish on that. Now, let's go and look at another article by Cointelegraph. It says, crypto and NFTs meet regulation as Turkey takes on the digital future. Says, despite unclear or even lack of regulation and taxation of cryptocurrencies, Turkey is increasing using digital assets amid high inflation. Now, if y'all don't remember, in my last live stream, we talked about Turkey actually recognizing Bitcoin, potentially recognizing Bitcoin as a currency. Now, Turkey's been very bullish on crypto in general, so it's good to see, again, they're finally coming towards that sentiment, just as El Salvador did. And it says, Turkey, the cradle of civilization, is quietly digitizing despite its high inflation economy, and the lira's volatility might be correlated with the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. During the fourth quarter of 2021, the Turkey exchange rate crashed from $9 to 18.5 liras per dollar in 6 weeks leading up to mid-December, before strengthening to as high as 10 liras and then falling back to 13.87 liras as the time of writing, rendering the currency a high volatility asset. So again, you have Turkey dealing with these inflation issues and looking for a kind of safe haven, for lack of a better word, to get into cryptocurrency, which they see Bitcoin as. And it says the lira's volatility stemmed from a contrarian interest rate cut made by Turkish President Recep amid high inflation and against the advice of central bankers. So again, high inflation, devaluing cash, that's a big thing a lot of these countries are focused on. Now, Bitcoin, again, is seen as that digital gold. A lot of people are getting into Bitcoin because of that. So Turkey, again, just being one of the many countries turning to Bitcoin is the reason why I see bullishness for Bitcoin over this coming year. Even though we're going over a current downturn, I do see this being bullish, and there's going to be more catalysts in the future. But you can just see a lot of these countries are starting to flock to Bitcoin because of this, and I think we'll see that over the coming years and months even, as eventually the Bitcoin price does rise again. And basically it just talks about Turkey really thinking about getting into Bitcoin and some of the reasons why. And so I know the eco-friendly has basically been a big proponent of cryptocurrencies, and a lot of people have been looking for cryptos that are eco-friendly, okay? So basically looking for more eco-friendly ways to mine Bitcoin, etc. And a lot of other currencies are working towards that as well. So I think that once Bitcoin really gets that eco-friendly narrative basically drilled in, a lot more people are going to flock to it, okay? And then it says here, central bank digital currency. According to the Atlantic Council, there are 87 countries, including Turkey, exploring a central bank digital currency. As part of the Central Bank Digital Turkish Lira Research and Development Project, the Central Bank of the Republic of Turkey established the Digital Turkish Lira Collaboration Platform in close collaboration with Aslan, The project is researching the potential benefits of introducing a digital lira to complement the nation's existing payment infrastructure. So again, more and more people going to the digital frontier, towards a digital solution. So definitely think that, if Turkey jumps on board with this, making Bitcoin a legal currency, it is going to explode and cause a vast array of countries to do the same. So definitely something to keep in mind there. Now, again, as I mentioned, we have 10 viewers here, so definitely, go and leave a like on the video. Really appreciate it. And please comment if you have any questions or anything. I'll be more than happy to answer y'all's questions and your comments as well. So third article here we're going to talk about before we go over some technical analysis for Bitcoin and Ethereum is another one by Cointelegraph. Says Bitcoin price falls to 34,000 as Bitcoin RSI reaches most oversold since March 2020 crash. Now, real quick, I'm going to just go over to the chart real quick and see the March 2020 crash. Okay, scroll all the way back here, and we have to zoom in. Actually, you can see how small it is. But basically here, this March 2020 crash. Now, I know it's hard to see on the RSVP extractor, but basically this yellow line is the RSI, and you can see it dropped very, very low. Okay, I can actually go ahead and add the RSI so y'all can actually see what it looks like from there. But basically you can see here how low the RSI dropped, okay? All the way down to this 17 level on the daily. Now, if we go to the current levels here, I'm gonna reset the chart. We can see right now the level is, near that 20 level. And you can see if you just scroll all the way back, again, all the way back to this March 2020 level is where it dropped to the lowest, and it's really the second lowest since then, okay? So that's something this article is mentioning. Now, it says, Bitcoin refused to stem recent loss during January 2022 as predictions of a flight to 33,000 and lower looked increasingly likely to become a reality. And now a lot of people are talking about open interest still not flushed, okay? Open interest basically meaning the number of positions opened for Bitcoin. And it says, data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro says as it fell through 35,000 during the first half of 2022, that there is a big move after the loss of 40,000 on the 21st. While some, including El Salvador, made the most of newer lower levels, others voiced concern that despite the drop, pressure still remained on the bulls. Now, again, besides just looking at cryptocurrency, the global markets are really in disarray. Basically, the whole thing with Russia, Ukraine, again, a lot of uncertainty in the markets, which is why it's bringing the stock market down and crypto, okay? So you got to look at the whole market in general. We can have the most bullish sentiment for crypto, but if you have the global markets in disarray, then that's likely going to pull crypto and Bitcoin down with it. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about all these articles and bullishness. Okay, if the global market is in a pandemic, then likely it's going to bring crypto down with it. There's a quote that says, after all this carnage, an absolute state of panic, funding somehow isn't giga negative. FUDs aren't backwarded and OI barely went down. Okay, OI being open interest. Interesting times. And with interesting, I mean poverty. Popular Twitter account, Byzantine General, additionally quips. Now, this guy has a ton of followers. I'm assuming that's why they are referencing him. And it talks about, again, the RSI sinking towards the 2020 March COVID lows. Again, we saw that dip for the COVID lows, and that presents a good buying opportunity. This is why in the Discord, I mentioned that, with the RSI at these low levels right now, where it's at down here, that it could be a very good time to purchase some cryptos. Okay, really DCAing, dollar cost averaging. Again, not putting everything in here at all, just kind of testing the waters, just in case we do start to have a reversal here. But looking further into the article here, it says, a bit more reliable than Bitcoin alone, total market capitalization is at next level of support, while the daily RSI hits the lowest since March 2020. And then it says, equity markets had taken a hit towards the end of the week, with tech stocks particularly in line of fire, and crypto once again showing the extent of its positive correlation. So that's definitely something to keep in mind, guys, as we're looking at this. Is just, never forget the big picture. Basically what I mean is by the RSI, okay, basically taking a step back, looking at the market as a whole, even though right now we are bearish, okay, just kind of looking at all the indicators and saying, okay, maybe this isn't the worst time to start DCAing, right? So again, something to keep in mind there. Next articles came out a couple hours ago. It says, vibe killers, here are the countries that moved to outlaw crypto in the past year. It says, from Bolivia to China, governments sought to restrict crypto relative activity for various reasons and with different tools. Okay, so we know that China wanted to ban crypto mining, right? They're really been a big proponent of outlawing crypto. But it says last week, Pakistan's Sindh High Court held a hearing on the legal status of digital currencies that might lead to an outright ban of cryptocurrency trading, combined with penalties against crypto exchanges. Several days later, the Central Bank of Russia called for a ban on both crypto trading and mining operations. Both countries could join the growing ranks of nations that move to outlaw digital assets, which already includes China, Turkey, Iran, and several other jurisdictions. So, again, right, this is a big thing here because when you have countries like Pakistan, Russia, that are talking about a ban on crypto and crypto trading, again, that's going to create some fear in the market, right? Now, I think eventually, these countries are going to adopt it, if not make their own digital currency. But again, they do see it as a threat to their banks, as a threat to their financial system. That's why they're acting this way. So again, that's adding to why people are, bearish or basically scared of the market right now and why you've seen some of the downturn. And it says, according to a report by the Library of Congress, there are currently 9 jurisdictions that have applied an absolute ban on crypto and 42 with an implicit ban. The authors of the report highlight a worrisome trend. The number of countries banning crypto has more than doubled since 2018. Here are the countries that banned certain cryptocurrency-related activities or announced their intention to do so in 2021 and early 2022. So again, it talks about Bolivia here, and it says, the Bolivian Central Bank issued its first crypto prohibition resolution in late 2020, but it wasn't until January 13th of this year that the ban was formally ratified. The language of the most recent ban specifically targets private initiatives related to the use and commercializations. So again, they said they need to protect the Bolivian from fraud and scams. It's one of the reasons why they've warned of the risks for cryptocurrency. But again, I believe as more regulations come in, as there's more knowledge to prevent some of these fraud and scams, that they are going to see it as a way of adoption. And then if China, again, we already know about China banning crypto. Indonesia, they actually introduced something on November 11th of 2021 saying that cryptocurrencies are haram, forbidden on religious grounds, and it says that the directions are not legally binding, and as such, it will not necessarily halt all cryptocurrency trading. Okay, so that's, again, something to keep in mind, not necessarily bearish there if they don't halt it. Then you have Nepal, Nigeria. Now, Turkey, again, they were originally bearish, but now, again, we talked about in a recent article that they are potentially adopting it as a legal currency. So that's something that could see a lot of these countries, right? Even though you see some negativity, you have some of these basically places that are starting to adopt it, okay? So definitely something to keep in mind is, again, regulation as Turkey takes on digital future. So yeah, some countries that were talking negative against it, now they're talking bullish about it. So definitely I can see Russia coming back around, again, after they secure their bag, for lack of a better word. I definitely can see them coming around to crypto. And it says, why do governments seek crypto bans? It says regulators' motivations to outlaw some or all types of crypto operations can be driven by a variety of considerations, yet some recurring patterns are visible. Kai Kamini, managing director at trading platform Spectre, emphasized the degree of political control within the countries that seek to establish crypto bans. It says states major anxiety, often concealed behind the stated concerns for general population's financial safety, is the pressure that digital currencies put on sovereign fiat and prospective central bank currencies. So basically what he's saying here is that this, again, is basically financial safety, right? So since crypto is so volatile, they see it as being risky. And it says a general pattern suggests that countries with a less stable fiat currency tend to have high crypto adoption rates and thus end up with bans on crypto, as governments want to keep people invested in fiat. In China, the wide rollout of the digital yuan is rumored to be the real reason for the crypto ban. So again, countries like to ban Bitcoin, ban crypto because they want to come out with their own digital currency. They don't want people flocking to this because, like I said, they lose control and they want to keep people under that government control. So definitely watch out for that. Again, countries are just outlawing crypto because they do see it as a threat. So don't fall into that FUD. There's a ton of countries for crypto. Again, it's just that struggle of power right now as we wait to see when the full adoption will roll out. So just something to think about here. And then last but not least, before we cover some technical analysis, again, y'all have any questions, please leave them in the live chat. I'll be happy to answer any of them. Is a tweet by Arthur Hayes. So those who don't know who Arthur Hayes is, he was the CEO of, co-founder of BitMEX, which is one of the biggest crypto derivative exchanges in the world. And he has over 188,000 followers. And he posted a tweet that was on January 6th. Okay, he said, the money printer ain't going burr, so crypto is about to get bludgeoned with a 2x4 studded with rusty nails. Read my essay, Maelstrom, to find out why. Now, again, what he means by the money printer ain't going burr is the U.S. government isn't just printing money for stimulus anymore. Okay, they've kind of halted that. They're looking at increasing inflation rates. And again, that is a reason why we start to see this slow pullback in crypto that we've had. Because any type of FUD like that, the crypto market declines heavily, right? So this is an article by Arthur Hayes, and he says, one of the most destructive mental constructs to the health of your financial portfolio is measuring yearly arithmetic returns. The goal, as always, is to maintain or increase the purchasing power of your assets relative to the cost of energy. Human civilization essentially converts the potential energy of the sun and earth into kinetic energy that supports our bodily functions and modern lifestyle. Making money is not the goal because money is just an energy abstraction. Okay, so basically he talks about a lot of philosophical stuff here, right? So long story short, he talks about the market, and he says the market doesn't stop just because the clock ticks 12:01 a.m. on January 1st, 2022. He talks about how returns are compounded and dependent in nature. Now, basically talks about some history going back to January 1st of 2020. He said it was a world with simpler place and the global coronavirus madness had not yet taken hold. And he says Bitcoin fetched $7,200. The last day of the year, Bitcoin commanded a price of $28,900. The year-over-year arithmetic return was 302% return. Who made more, Bitcoin investors or Pfizer, right? So, and then he basically talks about the currencies here and what returns that the big pharma made. And then scrolling down here, he basically talks about the start date and end date for Bitcoin and how much it increased year over year. And then scrolling down, he says, the point of this Bitcoin price history lesson is to tee up a discussion about how I'm positioning my portfolio this year in advance of what I believe will be a string of trading days as disastrous as March 16th of 2020. As usual, this relates to the Fed reducing the growth of their balance sheet to 0% and subsequently raising rates 1 to 3 times in 2022. And then basically on this whole article, he talks about with the policy changes, it'll be a negative effect on crypto. He says most market participants believe the Democrats, who must prove they are tough on inflation to avert a total whooping in the November congressional elections, will instruct the Fed to raise interest rates and the Fed will oblige. But there is less consensus regarding how a series of short-term interest rate hikes will impact financial assets, whether they will weather the storm or buckle under pressure. And then basically for midterm elections, those who don't know, those are coming up this year, and there's a big political struggle to keep providing stimulus and kind of pumping up the economy by artificial assets, or to start raising inflation, to reduce their balance sheet to zero, and again, to just rip the Band-Aid off, and basically the markets will see a tumble afterwards. So basically scrolling down, we can see that billionaires are embracing crypto in case money basically, craps the bed. So that's why you can see billionaires starting to embrace crypto, and why, we will see this dump, and it's already happening. But again, as inflation rates continue to rise, we can see potentially further downside, which I will go over in my TA for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And he says the rate of change in the growth of money supply, its first derivative, is the most important factor in determining whether institutional investors are positive or Debbie Downers, right? So you can see here the year-over-year index in yellow. You can see that's the XBT currency for Bitcoin. And then the year-over-year index, you can see how it's declining possibly now. So, with price looking to decline, you can see it is a leading indicator here. So definitely could see, some more downturn. But again, this was January 6th, right? So kind of what he predicted that's already happening right now. It says currently the Fed forecasts growth of their balance sheet to slow to zero. If they do not reinvest the maturing bonds in their portfolio, their balance sheet will actually contract. My ugly white arrow in the chart above demonstrates the impact this will likely have on the money supply. So really, that's just the big thing that we're looking at here. Again, as the Fed starts to taper that stimulus, increase interest rates, it will have a negative effect on crypto. So that's something we could see going down the line, and basically a tornado, you could say, of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency assets declining. So towards the end of the article, it says, those who sell first sell best. The time is now to evaluate the conviction you have and whether positive interest rates could seriously damage your portfolio's ability to purchase a constant or increasing amount of energy. Regardless of how hard government tries to stifle the volatility of the universe, the normal state of play is chaos. We are entropy. So again, one of the reasons why we can see this decline that happened, and hopefully this will find some support and have a temporary relief. But again, as Arthur Hayes was saying in his article, basically just seeing the whole global market as a whole and kind of seeing, again, those interest rates continuously rise in the future, stimulus tapering, we may see further downside. So just kind of looking at both sides here for the markets. So with that, that was a lot of articles. I know. Again, if you all have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. But let's go ahead and talk about some TA for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, so I'll go ahead and minimize the indicators and basically look at what I was looking at before. So before I was talking about a fractal on the daily, right? So we saw this big drop May 19th, and then we kind of had a sideways downwards movement, bounce off support twice, and then basically explode from this descending wedge. Now, you can see here I had a descending wedge, but when we went to bounce from it, we actually fell right through, and that was due to a lot of world issues. Again, what I was mentioning before. Now, right now, we can see that one of the biggest issues here is looking at where the next level of support is, okay? So there was this little support that we had around 36,000, but it fell through that, right? So right now, what am I looking at? Well, there's not too much support. I mean, objectively looking at it, the next major support level is going to be around this 30,000 level. That's where we bounced multiple times all the way from May 18th of last year all the way to July 22nd of last year, okay? So this is the next level I'm looking at. Now, if we do decline there, what am I looking at from there? So if we do decline, if we go to this $30,000 level, I could see us bouncing from there, and then potentially we do have this long-term downtrend, right? This downtrend is what started the bear market, okay? November 9th of 2021 has been constantly acting as resistance. Now, I can see us hitting this trend and then basically falling again back to this 30,000 level, and then potentially breaking out of that trend and working to retest this 40,000 level here, right? So again, this big long-term downtrend right here is what I'm looking at. It's going to be our next resistance I see. Even if we start climbing from here, this resistance around that $37,000 level will continue to be big resistance. And if we cannot break it, then I do see us continuing down. Now, you're asking me, okay, what are the next big support levels after this $29,000 level? Well, we can see here, we'll draw one. It's going to be around 26,000. And then from there, looking at about 24,000. And then finally, that 22.6 before that big $20,000 level, which was huge resistance going into that 2020 to 2021, right? That's when we had our big breakout. So this 20,000 is next huge support after this $30,000 level. But again, do I see us going that low? Not necessarily. I mean, I think this drawing right here, you can even see this basically writes the perfect scenario for a double bottom on that $30,000 support and then basically shooting up, around March. Will this happen? It's hard to say. All I would say is definitely have some coins in stablecoins to be ready to buy, any of these dips around these major support levels. That's what I've always been preaching in my Discord, is really to look at these big stable levels and looking at one of the big things for there. So let's see what so basically one of the big things here is, again, always buying at those big support levels and looking and waiting for those big opportunities. Now, next, talking about Ethereum, okay? So you can see these big scenarios that I had for Ethereum, right? And again, one of the big things I thought was, okay, Ethereum's going to drop down to this 2750 level and then bounce from there. But now we can see it's actually went all the way down to this next big support level of 2350. And you can see that it has bounced nicely from there, but it is going back down to that level. And you can see that one of the biggest things is if it can't hold this level, what I'm looking at next is that 1750 level, which again, no one wants to see, right? Everyone is hoping for Ethereum to bounce from here and basically go up to that next level of 2750, but I'm cautiously optimistic. The indicators right now are showing, again, that a lot of them are still oversold, RSI being one of them. But again, if we do have further downside here, I can definitely see us retesting that 2350 and possibly going back down to 1750. Now, if we do continue to rise from here, then one of the biggest things I'm looking at is for Ethereum to retest this 2750. I'll go ahead and start drawing it here so you can see. So possibly for Ethereum to bounce upward here to this 2750 level, come back down, create that double bottom, just like Bitcoin was at this 2350 level, and then start to retest this 3000 level, okay? So now, again, you got to adjust for your bias. So this is kind of what I'm seeing here, right? Possible increase, back down, and then back up for a huge double bottom on the daily. So now, this is its big level that it drew basically from the drop that started the downturn for Ethereum. So if we extend this line, actually, I'll go ahead and draw this. Again, if we extend this line, we can see that, let's see, I'll go ahead and make it a little bit prettier there. Okay, so we can see now this resistance will coincide perfectly with this 3060 level, right? And that'll be towards the mid-February. So could this coincide with Bitcoin for, again, that double bottom here? I think is definitely a high likelihood. At the same time, could it fall down to the drop that we've had around 1700? Yes, it very well could. So if you're thinking of buying, I definitely see that this 2350 level could be a good level to start DCAing, and then finally near this 1750 level to start DCAing as well. So that's definitely something that I am closely watching from here. So definitely something to keep in mind on there. Now, one of the biggest is I can see that, let me go ahead and change the chat here. Some of my viewers were actually saying that the chat may be messing up a little bit. So let me go ahead and change that real quick so y'all can see that. So I'll go ahead and pop out the chat here. Let's see, sorry guys. Let me get this and pop out chat. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now the chat's working. Okay, so Game says, hey, Rory says, already your first question. We know a lot of people's position in the current market now, mostly stables. How are you divided in the current market at the moment? You more a biased bear or biased bull now? Well, I mean, just based off of the current conditions, I'm still biased towards the bear side. I am definitely looking for a short. Anytime we do have a short rise here, but I am right now looking at any type of pump, looking to short the pumps right now. But again, if any bias or anything from the Fed indicates, there could be some more bullish action, I will switch my bias. But right now, just kind of following the downtrend, I am still bias bear right now. So again, for Bitcoin, I'm mainly looking for us to break this long-term trend line here. Once we do break this long-term trend line, I will change my bias to bull. But right now, I am still, leaning more towards the downside for that. Next, we have Andre says, good question, but the crystal ball is offline. Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait to see what happens, right? And let's see, Game says, your comments aren't on. Yep, sorry about that. Just fix that. And then Andre says, your top 5 coins for 2022. So top 5 coins for 2022 right now. If we go ahead and look at our watch list, I will just cover some ones that I've been bullish on. So 2022, looking for Syscoin to actually perform very well in 2022. For those who don't know, Syscoin is a metaverse coin, and it's one that's been was doing very, very well. It's kind of metaverse tied with Web3, tied with ZK protocol, zero knowledge, and I think it has 3 good narratives that will perform strongly in 2022. So I don't think it's that bad to own some Sys. Dust Network, they actually have their testnet on February 1st. It's one I've been long-term bullish on one that I think can do very well for the future if the market behaves itself. So definitely watching Dusk there, looking for it to lead that ZK initiative, and I do think it will do very well from there. And then looking at Fuse Network, those know I've been bullish on Fuse recently. It's been doing very, very well, and you can see it's already bounced towards that $1 mark. Fuse is a coin I mentioned in the Discord is a good buy point at 85 cents. So basically looking to, buy more if it gets down to 85 cents, but it's already bounced, nearly 20% since I was talking to the Discord members about DCAing in at those levels. Basically, Fuse Network is a comparison to Celsius Network. They have a mobile application, and they actually have their own website. Everything's already set up, and again, it's been performing very nicely. There's a few big Twitter accounts mentioning it. If you just search $Fuse into the Twitter, you can see a lot of big accounts are mentioning it. So definitely something to keep in mind. Still very low market cap. So one that I think could do an easy 2 to 3x from current price marks. Now, looking next, Offshift is another one for 2022 I'm looking at. So Offshift is another ZK protocol and one that's actually gained a lot of traction. It went up to over a high of $20 actually. If you just look at the chart, it was doing very, very well before this drop. You can see here, just a month ago, it was at $3.26, went all the way to a high of over $24. So this coin did actually very well. I was hit kind of hard in the downturn, but again, in a bullish market, I believe it will do very, very well. And there's a lot of big names behind it as well. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. And for my fifth one, I'd have to say either Rose or Metis, okay? And I'll see reasons why. I'm kind of bullish on both. So Rose, they had a partnership with Facebook. That was, I believe, in November. And basically Rose, they're looking to use that for their metaverse. And it has been doing very well before this downturn, is performing very nicely. I do still think it has some good fight in it. And I've seen a lot of people bullish on Rose. And they had their first DEX. It's called Dune Swap. It's actually launched on the Rose network. It was doing pretty well before this recent downturn. And then also UZ that was another one. So they have 2 DEXs out right now. So I think it could see some long-term potential. And then I talked about Metis. Metis is actually a layer 2 protocol that is built on the Ethereum network. And it is one actually run by Vitalik's mom, which again has been a big kind of funny connection there. But it was actually doing very well before this downturn. You can see just a month ago, it was at $82 and went to a high of over $300, right? So again, it got hard in this downturn, along with a lot of other altcoins, but I do think long-term in 2022, we do see this start to outperform. Again, a lot of big Twitter accounts are on this as well. So again, Andre, good question. Top 5 coins, I'll say Rose, Sys, Dusk, Fuse, and Offshift. And then, or potentially Metis in place of Rose. So hopefully that answered your question. Again, if y'all have any other questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. So Camus says, do we know when the Fed is going to announce the news? Camus, off the top of my head, I don't know the exact dates. If you want, we can actually go ahead and look at some Google articles here. So we'll go ahead and see if we can find out, see when we can see if they have any news on here. So basically, this was from 4 days ago. Yeah, I'd have to look actually when their announcement is. There were some talks it was going to be soon, but again, I'll have to look at that and see exactly when the announcement is. But yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind because again, a lot of things ride on these Fed announcements. I do think as the midterms get closer, there'll be a lot more volatility. Again, the Democrats want to hold their stronghold position. So I do see them, trying to make themselves look good in that sense. So it's anyone's guess what could happen. But yeah, definitely a good question. And we'll have to research, again, exactly when those announcements are. Let's see. Paul says, is there anywhere good to stake Sys? Paul, right now I'd have to look. I don't know off the top of my head some good places to stake Sys. What I would recommend is going to the CoinMarketCap and actually going to the community and going to their looking at their Twitter, but really looking at their chat here for their Telegram and Discord, asking in there. I believe some people will know some of the best places. I always like to visit their Telegram and actually see. They have a lot of good discussions in there, so I'm sure some people would be glad to help you, as well as the support in their Discord. I'm sure you could find some good places in there as well. So definitely something to keep in mind there. If anyone else has any questions, please leave them in the comments below on the live chat. Definitely glad to answer any questions that y'all have. Definitely eager in this market right now. A lot of people are kind of uncertain about where we're going from here. So definitely, looking to help ease any concerns if people have kind of, what they should do. A lot of people in the Discord have asked me, hey, should I sell everything now, go to stables? Should I buy right now? That's the $1 million question, right? That's what everyone wants to know, is what should they be doing right now? My opinion is that I think that if you are holding stables, still holding majority of your stables, maybe DCing a little bit. It's hard to say until we get a bullish catalyst, kind of when this market is going to stay where it's at, right? When we're going to start bouncing from here. I'm kind of waiting for, a good confirmation, whether it's a break of these trend lines, whether it's some bullishness from the Fed, because really we're kind of in a very, very thin line as far as with Russia, China, basically a lot of other countries and the global current markets of interest rates and everything. It's a very, very tense time right now. And, crypto, I believe, is hanging on by a thread. So if we do get some bullish news, I could definitely see us retesting this $40,000 level and then looking to test that 46,000. But as of right now, again, this downtrend is still very, very, very strong. So definitely something I am watching and looking for, where we're going from here. So let's see if we got anything else in the live chat. So Madeira says, how long will the crypto bear market last for? Well, Madeira, that's a good question, right? I think the market right now, it's probably going to last until, so immediately what I'm looking at, again, is this downtrend, right? Until we can break that. But really, I'm just looking for it to have any catalyst, right? So this market could last for a whole year, for a whole 2 years, right? If we just look at 2018, actually, if we just look at 2021, let's just go even, a year back. So we saw when Bitcoin reached its high of, or sorry, that was Ethereum. Let's go and scroll back in here. Okay. So yeah, right here. So April of 2021, right? Bitcoin had its high of 63,000. Okay. From there, we kind of entered a bear market from April 14th of 2021 all the way down to July 21st of 2021. So we have April, June, July. So we have 2 months of bearishness, right? Well, if we're looking at this from a fractal standpoint, right? Let's go ahead and go to the dates on here and kind of measure where it's at. So let's see if we go from here. Okay, so to the end of the bear market, basically we saw 2 months, right, of there. And right now, what we're looking at, if we look at measure it here, well, goes to the ruler, right? And looking at that 2 months, right, we can see that that would be about more or less March 9th, okay? March 9th would be, now if we want to do exact days, well, exact days, that would be 97 bars. And then we look at here, 97 bars from here would be February 14th, okay? So if you want to do apples to apples from this fractal that I drew, we're looking at another, call it 3 weeks, 3 weeks of downturn, right? So 3 weeks of downturn, if we just do a ruler again for when it was at the top to when it was at the bottom, how much it dropped, we can do a short position from the top here and all the way to the bottom, it went, it dropped over 53%, okay? Now we look at 53% from the top here. And if we look at 53%, that would be approximately right there, okay? That would be around 31,800. Now this is apples to apples if we're saying this fractal from April 24th or April 13th is playing out to a T here, okay? So basically it's saying that potentially we could drop all the way down to that 31,800 level and it would fall February 14th. So right there. Okay, so doing that. Okay, there. So that's what we're looking at, okay? So if we're apples to apples of this fractal lasting until February 14th, falling down to 31,800. That's technically what we're looking at. Now, it's not too far from where I had right here, right? My double bottom that I drew, breaking this trend line, long-term trend line, and testing that 40,000 level. So, Madeira, to answer your question, how long the bear market's going to last, I'm saying apples to apples, looking at another 3 weeks. 3 weeks of this bear market. Again, potentially some bounces, drops, all the way down to around 31.8, and then bouncing from there. That's my opinion. I don't think that's out of line. I think that's definitely, I can see that happening because of what the current market and what the state of the global markets are in. So just my bias right there, I'd say 3 weeks. Good question. Farzan says, does anyone know a reliable way to find new contracts on chains? Trying to get some early, quick plays. Farzan, great question. So a reliable way to find new contracts on chains. Now, for those who don't know, there's actually a website called Dex Screener, okay? So Dex Screener, you can see here. I'll go ahead and go to the main homepage of here. Now, Dex Screener is basically a website that covers the whole crypto market and all of the different chains, okay? So you can see here that all the different chains it has, Ethereum, BSC, Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom, Harmony, Chronos, Aurora, Moonriver. I mean, there's a ton of chains on here, right? It's insane. Now, this is a way just to snapshot view of all the different chains there are and it also has some of the latest coins that have, like, for example, I click the Optimism chain. You can sort it actually by 24-hour volume, right? So 24-hour, the highest gainers. And you can see the ZIP token is the highest gainer on Optimism right now. You want to look at the Ethereum network? Okay, let's look at the highest gainer for 24 hours. Now, again, there's going to be some crazy coins, right? So there's a lot of meme coins and stuff built on the Ethereum network. But for example, you want to look at, let's say, the Arbitrum network, right? 24 hours, it's going to be Dopex Rebate Token. Okay, so Dex Screener is a place I love to use that have a lot of different chains and a lot of coins actually releasing on these chains. Now, be careful, okay? If you're going on this and looking for like the latest coin with the biggest gainer, it could be a pump and dump coin that could fall in the next, hour or something. So keep in mind any coins that are released that are just come out, there's barely any liquidity or volume on them. I would stay away from any coin that does not have at least 500,000 worth of volume on it for 24 hours, okay? So definitely stay away from that. It could just be pumping up coin, a scam coin, anything like that. So keep that in mind. But again, for example, if you just look at any of these, like I was talking about Optimism, the ZIP token, you can just click on the coin. It will have the liquidity, so 24-hour volume. It will have the fully diluted valuation and the market cap, okay? And then again, some of the coins there, it'll have the ZIP, it'll have the contract address, so you can add it to your MetaMask, as well as the pairing address, and then where you can trade it, some quick links on there. So Dex Screener is definitely a quick screener that I like to use for all the different chains, and one that I think is very, very good to use if you are looking at some of the biggest coins on certain networks and what's pumping the most. So hopefully that helps you out there. Arslan, hey, good to have you, man. Haven't seen you in a while. He says, yo, my man, what's your thoughts on those big DAOs, Time, Wonderland, or other OHM forks? I know Time, Wonderland has hit the bottom, buybacks occurring. Seems like a good time to get in. So Arslan, definitely good question there. For those who don't know, the big OHM fork, so OHM had quite a tumble. I know that there was a guy, his name is Danny. He's actually a big personality on Twitter. He was working with OHM, working to release some of his projects on there, but there was basically some big, I don't know if I can find it here, there's some big drama about him trying to work with OHM, and then basically there's a big whale that dumped, I believe it was a lot of their time or a lot of their OHM. I forgot which token they dumped, but it was millions of dollars worth, and that caused a big crash in OHM. And actually, I'll go ahead and pull up a new chart for OHM as well, so you can see exactly what it did there. But basically, what Arslan's asking is, hey, do you think it's a good time to get in? Because Time is basically a protocol that they do a lot of buybacks. They have like treasuries, and then have a lot of DAOs governance, right? That is used where you get benefits for staking the token, huge APY percentages. And he's basically asking, how I think it's going to do from there. Well, let's go into the OHM network. Let's see if we can find some good. One of the biggest things, again, with some of these coins is trying to find a good trading pair for it. So let's see if I can look real quick, see if there's any quick pairings with that. Let's see if we can do, let's see if there's anything here. No, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna find a good pairing here for OHM. Yeah, basically I'll just pull it up here on CoinMarketCap. As far as if it's a good time to buy, I do think that it possibly could be a good time. You can see how much OHM rose, and then it had its decline here. I do think that if they're doing buybacks right now, it couldn't be a bad point to start dabbling in it. Again, there was that big controversy with it. A lot of people were bullish on Time and Wonderland, Time being Wonderland. Before this big drop happened, you can see how much decline it's had. Again, just looking at the all-time chart, it's basically near where it was when it started, right? In October. So, September actually. So I would say I would start DCAing here if you're bullish on the ecosystem as a whole. Myself, I never got fully into the whole OHM Time ecosystem, so I couldn't speak as intelligently to it. But again, it being so close to its buyback levels that they have, I would definitely think that is something that, couldn't be bad to start DCAing into if it's at those levels. And if they do have a turnaround, I would personally, one, have to look at their Twitter, their Discord, kind of see if they have any big updates coming up, see if they have any big, new things on their roadmap. That's a big thing I'll look for when thinking about, coins like these and projects like these is one, do they have a roadmap? Two, have they been constantly adhering to those roadmaps? For example, hey, in Q2, in Q1 of 2022, we're going to, one, get listed on exchanges. We're going to release this new feature on the website, etc. Have they done that? Have they followed that? Looking at the past, have they done that? That's kind of a big benchmark I do, and kind of how the team is communicating, right? Are they active on Twitter? Are they active in their Discord? Are they actively trying to help market as well as develop research for their protocols and providing incentives for their users? If yes to all the above, then yeah, I would say that the project has long-term viability and it would be a good spot to invest. But again, I need to look at all of that to really see if the community is still behind time and behind that whole OHM initiative. So that's kind of my thing. I know it's not exactly the answer you wanted, but that would be something I would have to look at. And again, just see how active they are in all of those aspects. So Madeira says, thank you. Farzan, thank you. Hey, no problem, guys. If y'all have any more questions, please leave them in the comments below. Atlas, hey, good to have you here, man. He says, where do you suggest is a good place to stake crypto with a high APY? So I would say it's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of good places to stake. Kind of depends where you want to stake it. If you want to stake stable coins, what I like to do for a lot of, for example, you can go to there's a lot of different places, right? So you can say, best stablecoin farms for crypto, and basically there's a lot here you can actually look at. So there's one here that says current crypto DeFi. If you go to coinmarketcap.com and you look at basically the best lending protocols, right? Curve has been a big one for staking your stable coins and a lot of other cryptos. They don't provide the best returns, but you can see here for their DAI USDC pairing, so their stablecoin farms, 11.33% yearly, right? So, and what I look for is basically protocols that have high TVL, so total value lended, okay? Now, or total value locked, sorry. So, crypto project with a high TVL basically says a lot of people trust this, they've been around for a while, and there is a very low likelihood of the protocol failing, or basically, the team rugging and stealing all your money. This is usually because, one, they have some big firms that have audited them. They've been around for a while. They have a lot of big backers. So really, if they do fail, it is very bad for them. And a lot of time, the teams are doxxed, meaning people know who they are. So again, all that in to say that a lot of these projects have a lot of big backing and your money is safer there. So you may have these other projects that say, hey, stake your stablecoin pairings. You can get 50% or 100% yearly, right? But they've just released. So really, the risk to reward isn't really there because they could just go, run away with your money if you stake it on their website. So Curve is basically a good one. Sushi is a good one as well. They do have some big stablecoin pairings there. And then also, let's see, scrolling down, see if there's any I recognize here. I know PancakeSwap actually had some good staking. They had some good like BNB staking. And then also they did have some stablecoins as well. You can see here, let's see if they do have their stable coin. If we scroll down, let's see. So USDT, BUSD, it says 575% yearly. Let me actually click on this real quick to see. Yeah, okay. So so this isn't found. So again, you can see some of these actually, aren't current anymore. But yeah, as far as highest, you can find them on CoinMarketCap. There's also some other big websites. I'm trying to think where else there is for staking. I know that if you go to, so Terra is actually a big one. They're UST coin. They do have some stablecoin staking on there. So that's one place to look at as well for staking. As I would also look at any dexes of some big protocols. So for example, if you look at the Solana DEX, if you look at Radium, so radium.io, I'll go to that real quick so y'all can see it. So for radium.io, there's actually some big staking for that. They do have like some, if you're bullish on the Solana ecosystem, you can see here that, so for example, farms, right? So some of the farms on radium.io are pretty good. I am very bullish on farms for here. And then you can see here that, if you have Radium Serum liquidity pool, 61% APR, Radium USDT, scrolling down here. Again, there's a ton here. One of the biggest things I do want to caveat for anyone that's staking any pairings, for example, like I was saying, Radium Serum, keep in mind impermanent loss. For those who don't know what impermanent loss is, it's basically where so the pools constantly try to balance each other. So for example, if you have 50-50 at first of say USDT and Radium, but then Radium goes up 3x and USDT, again, it's stable. So now they're going to rebalance it to where you have more USDT and less Radium, right? So that opportunity cost of getting those gains on Radium, say it goes up a lot, well, you're going to lose some of that if it rises in a short amount of time compared to USDC. So one rule of thumb I like to use is if it goes up 2x then you're probably going to lose about 8 to 10% in permanent loss if you are staked with a stablecoin. Okay. So, because the pools are constantly trying to rebalance themselves. So that's one of the biggest things is impermanent loss is something to keep in mind when you are staking with any of these liquidity pairs. But if it's two crypto coins and they're actually going up and down relative the same, like the same percentage, then really, if you're getting a good APR, then you aren't losing much. I recommend if there's APR, say it starts out at around 1,000%, then really you aren't going to see impermanent loss that much because you're going to make more back in your staking rewards than you would have lost for impermanent loss. So again, research impermanent loss. It's definitely something to keep in mind when you are staking. So hopefully I answered your question there. Arslan says, I'll probably invest in Time Wonderland. Daniel is, in my opinion, a real trustworthy guy. Yeah, Daniel's good. Again, keep in mind, I don't know if he's working with him anymore. I would check his Twitter, again, because he was going to work with him and then he pulled out. So definitely something to keep in mind. But yeah, I do know actually Time is his big thing, right? So I think he just pulled out of the OHM pairing or the OHM partnership. So yeah, Time could be good if he's still working with that. And then Arslan says, great answers. Thanks, man. Hey, anytime, man. Good to have you here. Todd says, can you check out Metadoge real quick? And thanks for your time. Yeah, Todd, no problem. Okay, I'll go ahead and check out Metadoge and see if... and let me know if this is the wrong one, Todd. But looks like here it's up 6% today. I'm going to look at the full chart. So it started a little bit higher than where it's at now. It started November 7th. So definitely something to keep in mind there. Let's see. Sorry, just seeing a Discord message here real quick. Gonna see if I can start a call real quick. Sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Sorry, I just had Dudewall, one of the moderators, join this chat. So yeah, so Metadoge, again, I think I've heard of it. I remember it was one of the top gainers a while back. If we go to their website here, I'll go ahead and see exactly what kind of what they're all about. So I've experienced the most exciting metaverse journey with Metadoge and his friends. So again, looking at the DEX Tools chart, seeing how that looks. Right now, again, it looked like it was pretty wrecked from the recent decline. You can see I have the RSI up here. If we draw just some quick TA lines, I'll go ahead and let's see. Draw some quick TA lines. There's a support level, 43.47. And again, this is on the daily chart, right? So this would be the next big support here. And then if I draw one more, kind of hard to see. Probably about right there. So it is declining right now. Trying to look at it from here. Let's see. So yeah, looking at Metadoge, the website does look pretty good, right? See they have NFT staking. So it says, let's see if I click on that, we'll see what else they have. I mean, my thing with meme coins is always be careful, right? Look at their roadmaps, look at what they have long-term. And if they do have some long-term viability, definitely, could have some potential there. It says, get one of your favorite four-legged friends now with our new baby collection NFTs. We'll get lucky and take home one of our legendary NFTs. So it looks like it's you get possibly some incentives for holding the token and getting their NFT drops. Basically some APY percentage. My thing is this, what is the demand for these NFTs, right? Could be getting some good APY, but if the NFTs are worth garbage, possibly couldn't be a good return on that. So I'd be careful with these. And then again, looking at, it's just if the coin can catch on, right? And they do have staking as well. But again, if the coin goes to zero, staking won't do much for there. They do have a marketplace, it looks like. Their NFTs for sale. I'd have to see exactly what these NFTs are going for and if there's some long-term viability with them. Let me see. But again, looking at the chart, I mean, right now it may be near its support level, right? I know because the market declined a lot. The coin wasn't doing too good. It started declining since December 19th. So I would probably stay away for now until there's some big events. I mean, if we look at their Twitter real quick, we can see if they have anything on there. So let's see if we can go to community. Yeah, so community, 18.7 thousand followers. It looks like their last update, January 21st, they basically talked about, so it looks like they're engaging at least with their community. I'd have to look at their Twitter to see for sure. But again, just looking at the chart, I'd be weary right now. If you're looking to buy, possibly look at the next buy level of about 2096, and then from there, 4347. But yeah, for meme coins, I'd probably stay away from those right now, just because when the market dumps, these meme coins dump very, very hard. So something to keep in mind for that if you are thinking of buying there. L-Dog says, good stuff, man. Keep up the good work. Hey, appreciate it. Good to have you here, man. Let's see. Marco says, take a look on SPA. Okay, real quick, let me go ahead and see if I can fix this. Dude while I was trying to talk in Discord right now. I think there may be something wrong with the voice and video settings. So let me see if I can fix that real quick. Let's see if I can fix this. Okay. Okay, now let's see if we can get him on the line. Dude wall, let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can definitely hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, sweet. Yes. Okay, so let me hold on. Let me go ahead and get this chat popped out real quick. Okay, there. Okay, perfect. All right, Dude Wall, go ahead and introduce yourself just so people know who you are, and then get you familiarized in the chat here.
Hey everyone, yeah, Dude Wall here. I'm a moderator in the Discord group for CryptoData. And yeah, good to be here and to discuss some market movements right now.
Sweet. Well, definitely good to have you here, man. For those who don't know, aren't part of the Discord, we do have a Discord here. And you can see here that the Discord is very lively. Over 619 people here. You see we have our 3 moderators. Dude Wall is one of them right here. And you can see we have a lot of people in here, right? A lot of active people. So definitely join this Discord if you haven't. It's actually in the description, and I'm also have it pinned in my Twitter as well, at @CryptoData, if you aren't following me. But definitely go and join us there. A lot of good talk about there. And yeah, Dude Wall, good to have you here, man. And definitely look forward to this chat and talking more about the markets. And real quick, sorry I didn't, let's see, for Marco talking about SPA, I will cover that just real quick, just to kind of bring Dude Wall up to speed. Basically, what we've talked about so far is the market with, again, El Salvador still buying some Bitcoin as we had this dip. We were talking about crypto NFTs, about Turkey looking to adopt Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole. And then basically talking about the Fed possibly raising their interest rates and kind of, getting ready for those midterm elections and trying to look good in the public's eye, and kind of how politics is a big part of what's going on. I just wanted your thoughts on all 3 of that stuff and kind of where you think the market's going from here, and kind of where you think that Bitcoin and the other cryptos are going, and as far as the bear market and how long you think it's going to last.
Yeah, so good points on all those. I think there's a lot of good news, right? El Salvador is still buying Bitcoin, which is kind of funny because they bought at the very top, and now they bought again at 36K. So that's good, but they're still continuously buying. I think the Turkey news is also good. It just shows that more and more countries, especially with kind of currencies that aren't that strong, are still looking to purchase Bitcoin and get in on that. So I think that's good news for crypto as a whole. And then, just on the regulation side of things, I think you hit the nail on the head there with regulators and everybody kind of trying to, get their take on how they want cryptocurrency to be viewed in their country. I saw Russia a while back, another article came out about them wanting to ban all of crypto. It seems like they don't have much of an impact on the market, so that's a good thing. But yeah, I just, it's always a good idea to keep an eye on the political scene because it seems to have a profound effect on crypto. I think we've also been talking about crypto being like super correlated with Wall Street right now. So kind of whatever the S&P 500 does, Bitcoin seems to follow. Or maybe even like vice versa in some cases, right? Since Bitcoin is a 24-hour tradable currency, whereas the stock market only operates Monday through Friday. So yeah, all these things are just things to keep in mind. I think like overall, if you look at the big picture, it's still like everything should be very bullish on crypto. Long term, I think crypto is a very safe play. A few years ago, there was a question, right, whether crypto would still be around in a few more years. And I think that question at least has been put to rest. Crypto is still around. I think crypto will still be around. So it's a safe market to be in. Right now, as far as the downturn, the bear market that's going on, who knows really, right? Like, yeah, I think like maybe a couple more weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like probably at minimum, we're looking at 3 weeks, I would say. And then like after that, it's anybody's guessing game, right? It kind of depends on like the macroeconomic trend that's going on in the global economy. But I will say this, like one good news that I think we've seen in the public lately is that like Omicron cases in the United States, they're saying they seem to have peaked. So that's one bit of good news. I think if the COVID narrative kind of dies down a little bit, I think that'll help the global economy a little bit. And then we'll see. We'll see how supply chains play out, all that other stuff. But yeah, I think being in stable coins right now is good. If you're going to get into some coins, kind of have some levels in mind. Probably like like parabolic bull run levels on like some of these large caps. I think like my personal ones that I'm really looking at for the next bull run are going to be Phantom, AVAX, and Terra Luna. I think those three have a lot of potential, and I think the public sentiment around them is also very good, as opposed to like Solana, for example, because they've been having a lot of network issues. That was my big one before, but yeah, with all the network issues and everything going on, I feel like Solana will probably dip the most in this continued downward trend. So yeah, just keep an eye on the big ones. Dollar cost average on the way down. Maybe don't be super jumpy to get in like right away because I think there will be buying opportunities down the road as well.
Yeah, 100%. No, appreciate the your opinion there and just some good advice. I think you're spot right on the head with the Solana network. For those who don't know, the Solana network has basically been dealing with a lot of outages recently, and I'll go and just open up the chart as well. But basically, Solana has been, I think, by past 48 hours, people have been trying to use Solana, and it hasn't been doing too good. And we can just see from the past month, right? I mean, it's almost straight downturn. Since December 24th, it was at $192 and has continuously dropped, barely any relief rallies. And right now, it's more than half of that, right? At $97, sorry. And it's up over 5% today, which is good to see. Again, could be some good buying opportunities. I know a lot of people didn't think Solana was going to dip below $100, but you basically, I think if I just look at Solana outages, we can see probably a lot of articles about it, right? And there's basically a lot of people using the network, and the biggest thing for that is the NFTs. So Solana's been dealing with a lot of NFT releases, and there's a lot of bots on the Solana network that have been doing very, very poorly. And I think that, as more botting and kind of that big, just more and more people use the network, I don't think they're ready for it. And just with the speed of their transactions, it's good for a small user base, but when you have these huge user bases and they're trying to inject as many commands as they can, and it kind of just shuts down the network because while they were doing very well, I don't think they were fit to scale, and they were basically built to scale. So now we're kind of seeing the effects of that, and they're trying to catch up to deal with all of these transactions and all these bots that have been dealing with them as well. So definitely, Dude Wallet, thanks for that. That was some good analysis on that. Now, we'll get back to the chat. I know we kind of veered away, but yeah, Dude Wallet, super smart guy there, and definitely, he has some good thoughts on the market. He's been around as long as I have, since 2017, so kind of why I've had him on here. And expect us for these live streams. We're going to have a lot more people on here. Not just Dude Wallet, a lot of other moderators and a lot of other people in the chat as well. So definitely good to see some insight there. So Marco, to your question, take a look at Spirax. So SPA, glad you mentioned that. It is a cryptocurrency that's actually had a lot of positive talk about it in some Telegram groups that I've been in. Okay, so if we just look at the 1 month chart, I mean, SPA a month ago was at 7 cents. It went to a high of actually 20 cents in January 19th of this year, so just 4 days ago. And now we can see it's found support around that 13.7 cent level. And right now it's already 15.6 cents. So a nice little bounce today, which you can see that's actually a huge bounce. So we can even see Ethereum's actually almost at 2,500. So a nice little bounce we're seeing actually in the altcoin market right now. But Spirax, I'm sure, Dude, while you've heard of that in one of the Telegram groups we recently joined not too long ago, they were talking about SPA a lot. You remember hearing about that?
Yeah, I definitely did hear that name.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead real quick, look at their Twitter and kind of see what they're all about. So they have over 8,800 followers, and they are followed by some big names. So that's good to see. I always like to look at, if some of these protocols are followed by a lot of the big people I respect, then usually I'll delve into it a little bit more because it does have some respectability for that. So definitely something to keep in mind there. But it says SpearX is the first auto yield stablecoin powered by Arbitrum. So for those who don't know what Arbitrum is, again, it's an optimistic rollup built to scale Ethereum. Now, this was a huge DEX, but huge protocol that was built on top of Ethereum that a lot of people were excited for. They thought this was going to be the solution to Ethereum's high gas fees. And Arbitrum actually has some very low gas fees. If you go to some of their first DEXs they've had, it does very well. And actually, they have their own NFT marketplace by Treasure, and it's using a coin called Magic. Okay. Kind of like OpenSea for the Ethereum network, the NFT marketplace has Ethereum to use. Well, this Treasure, they have a lot of NFTs on there. They use Magic as their coin. And Arbitrum's actually gained a lot of notoriety the past couple of weeks. And I've seen it rise a lot. And it didn't do the best when it launched last year, but now it's starting to basically ramp up again. So I think that's why a lot of coins are starting to do good again on the network. But SpearX, again, being the first auto yield stablecoin, I think that has some notoriety with that being the first that first mover advantage. And just looking at it, if I see here, looking at their Twitter, January 21st was their last post, and it says alpha. It says the Arbitrum countdown is live. Okay, and it shows total value locked here. And see by Rary Capital DAO. So apprary.capital. It says total value locked, which is pretty cool. And if actually we just click on this. It says Fuse Pool creation is now 100% permissionless. Deploy your own isolated lending protocol today. So it looks like there is a ton of money on this network, and I believe that SpearX may actually have some ties to that. So that's good to see. And then this guy says, I have a large UST position sitting in Anchor Protocol, making 20% APY. I've moved some to SpearX on Arbitrum as USDC to USD's liquidity pool. And then basically says on Anchor, I'm farming 20% UST. On SpearX, I'm farming 30% SPA. So again, I remember Atlas was talking about, what are some good stablecoin farms or some good lending protocols or farms in general. So maybe you want to look at SpearX. That's actually pretty good there. And then it talks about some liquidity mining progress. So it seems like a lot of these guys are really working to these stablecoin pools and these farms, really trying to get some TVL for that, right? Some total value locked. So it seems like they've been doing pretty good so far. Again, as long as they stay active in their Twitter, I'll check their website real quick to see what their roadmap is. But that's the biggest thing, again, I always harp on. Activity in Twitter, Telegram. Are they engaging with their community? How's their website look? Do they have any roadmap stuff coming up? It says, connecting you with modern money. SpearX is dedicated to benefiting all financial lives with blockchain technology. And it says the first auto yield stablecoin pays sustainable interest regardless of bear or bull markets. Operated fully on-chain and governance by DAO for transparency and auditability. Designed to be scalable for mass adoption. So it looks like here they actually have their own mobile app, which is good. 1.5 million downloads, 600,000 active users. So wow. So these guys have been doing pretty good. And they have early investors, Alameda Research being one of them, and Steve Aoki, the DJ, which is crazy to see. So yeah, they have some big backers. First impressions looks pretty good, right? It says earn up to 250% APR in SPA. SpearX USD is now in open beta. So yeah, guys, Marco, good talk on that. And Marco says SpearX is related to an algorithmic stablecoin like UST. So glad you mentioned UST. UST is one of the big ties they have is to Terra Luna, right? One of the big on the Terra ecosystem, they use UST as their stablecoin, and that's been gaining a lot of notoriety, similar to USDT and USDC. UST is the next big stablecoin. So if SpearX is actually an algorithmic stablecoin like UST, I could definitely see them going far and getting some of that market share. So really quick, looking at the market cap. Fully diluted market cap is 781 million. A lot of people look at FDV and they kind of dismiss it, but I definitely think you should keep that in mind because I know there's some coins that had like a 50 million market cap, but they had a 2.8 billion fully diluted market cap and they dropped a lot and people couldn't understand why. So I always like to look at FDV as well as the market cap to try to see, trying to get an idea, right? But even with 780 million, I mean, I could definitely see it if it's as good as I think it is. I could definitely see it getting to, at least to a billion, which would be easily a What is that? A 20% or 30% gain from here, right? So that's something to keep in mind there. But yeah, I mean, just seeing its all-time high being near that 19 cent mark, definitely something to keep in mind. And again, it has gained a lot of traction recently, so nothing to say it couldn't keep gaining traction from there and continue to rise. So definitely good stuff there. And oh wow, yeah. So in our chat was saying BTC is pumping. Looking at Ethereum, Ethereum had a nice pump. It's actually at 25.30. Dude, while you seeing this?
Yeah, it's looking really good right now.
Yeah, wow. Bitcoin had a nice bounce here. 36,400. Wow, let's go ahead and look at some of our altcoins real quick. Sorry guys, just got to see this real time as everything's kind of popping off right now. So Syscoin already 92 cents. Up 8%, Dusk up 11% now. Fuse Network almost to $1. Offshift 11.22. Yeah, a lot of these altcoins are popping right now, so that is great to see. Rose, when I was talking about it, was 32 cents. Now it's almost 35. 35 now. Wow. Okay, so a lot of pumping going on. May have to actually look at Twitter. But Marco, yeah, real quick, SpearX, I think it looks good. I think it looks good, honestly. Wouldn't be bad to put in a little here actually. So good find. Let's see. Let's just see what some people are talking about real quick. Korean Jew was posting some stuff. Okay, he's posting about the football game. Oh yeah. So some people are talking about late shorts right now. They're getting squeezed. So again, some good short squeezing going on. Let's see. Is there anything else? Okay. Yeah. So really, just people taking some longs. Not seeing too much talk about crypto right now. So it looks like either some big announcement or again short squeezing happen right now with some big whales jumping in. So definitely could be something. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
good.
one point is maybe like stock market isn't looking too great tomorrow. So this could be like a short-lived pump. Maybe just be careful trying to get in on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Like you said. I mean, looking at the Bitcoin chart, right? Almost looks like a little double bottom action here going on. So yeah, like Dude was saying, always be careful with this stuff. Don't, buying these pumps just to get wrecked again, right? So we'll see how long this pump sustains itself. But yeah, just looking at it right now, and I see that green candle there. So definitely something good. Let's see. For Zon.
Do you mind if we really quick, not to
Yeah.
pivot away from the chat, but I want to look at like three coins, or at least two from 2018 that I think like illustrate a pretty good point that I'm going to make maybe after we look at the charts. But could you pull up the chart for Neo?
Yeah, here. And I can actually pull up all three charts at once if you want.
Awesome. Yeah. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
look
here.
at Neo. Let's look
Okay.
at waves.
Let's see. So interval time. Okay. Neo. Let's pull up Neo for the, let's see, Binance chart. Waves for the Binance. And then what's the third one?
Let's look at ARK.
ARK. ARC?
ARK.
Oh, ARK. ARK. Okay. Let's look at ARK. Let's see. Let's look at the dollar. Okay. What? You want me to go to 2018, you said?
Yeah. So I mean, maybe just like the all-time chart, so we can look at how things have evolved from 2017 to now with these three coins.
Okay. So let's see. Do we stay on the daily or do we go on the weekly?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Either one's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. I'll do the weekly just so we can get a.
Yeah, we don't have to go to the daily granularity.
Okay. And then go on the weekly here. Okay. Okay. And the weekly on here. Okay. Got them all up.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So I guess like, okay, looking at Neo's chart, right? Neo was, for those of you who don't know, probably the most popular altcoin of like the latter half of 2017, right? So it did like 100x at one point, and everybody was super into Neo. Neo's the next big thing. It's going to be the greatest blockchain ever. Neo, if you can tell, it peaked at around January 2018 for a price of like $175, nearly, something like that.
Yep.
You can see that at the same time, the market started dipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
It went down a number of times. It came back up. People bought the dip, everything like that. Went up to like 160, 170 again. People are saying, "Oh, great decision. We bought the dip. It's pumping again." And then it dropped like tremendously in the next
Yeah.
dip, right?
Yep.
Went down to like $80 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we saw like some relief pumps, right? It goes back to like 140. People were like, "All right, great decision. We bought the dip. Fantastic." And then you see like it just falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
It goes down to like $50, right? And
Uh-huh.
then again, people buy the dip and it goes back up to like $75. But then you can just see over the years, like continuous downtrend, right? To
Yep.
like single digits. And then now in 2021, we see another pump of Neo, right?
Yep.
But like I think the max it goes to is like $120, something like that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
So it
130.
never
Yep.
reaches, yeah, right, exactly. So it never reaches the 2018 high that it was at. So the people who were buying the dip early, at 150, 160, 140, they never even saw a break even point. The people who bought later, they actually saw a good return on their money in 2 years' time, right? I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, like holding for 2 years, not the best thing in the world, but getting a 2x in 2 years relative like to the stock market or something, fantastic, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was a Neo thing. Neo's pretty much died out now, and nobody cares about Neo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Waves is another one. Waves in 2017. I was buying this thing for like 50 cents at one point.
Wow.
And yeah, so it had a run up, it went up to like 10, 12, $13, something like that. And everybody was like, oh, okay, Waves is great, like fantastic, whatever. In the 2018 downtrend, this thing went down. You can see, I mean, went down to a dollar, less than a dollar, 50 cents, 60 cents. So same sort of narrative, right? People who were buying dips, the ones who bought early didn't succeed as much as the ones who bought later. And
Yeah.
then in 2021, you can see that it pumped up to $35, maybe $40 even, right? So it's
Yep.
been at a really great level in 2021 for people who bought at that time. And
Yep.
then ARK is the last one I wanted to look at. ARK basically has kind of just like done nothing in 3 years time, like as far as price action goes,
Yeah.
which is actually really interesting to me because this team and this protocol, they hit every single goal that was on their roadmap. Like literally everything they put on their roadmap, they hit, they succeeded, they went above and beyond that, right?
Yeah.
So a protocol that literally hit every goal on its blockchain on its roadmap didn't do anything as far as price action goes. So here are my like three takeaways from this, right? One, in bear market times, don't rush to buy the dip. It might be better to buy the dip a little bit later because you might benefit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number two, there are always going to be coins like Waves who pumped a little bit like in the bull market, but then like during the bear market, they go down quite a lot.
Yeah.
But they're still like very solid projects that for some reason have something that people like about them that will pump later on down the road too. And then my third takeaway is there's going to be things like ARC, right? Which to people might seem like, oh, this is the greatest project ever. Like fundamentally, it's fantastic. The team's hitting all their goals, everything like that. But then like price action wise, you might never see a return on investment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look out for all three of these things, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always really hard to pick winners over a long period of time. So like catching the narratives and going with those is better for immediate gains. And if you want to hold something long term, really make sure you pick something long term that is going to have both like a team that hits all their goals fundamentally and still has like narratives and interest from the public so that it will like continuously ride a high in the future.
Yeah. No, 100%. Glad you brought that up. And it's just a way to keep people grounded, right? So basically, like, people don't just kind of get into that whole bull narrative of, hey, eventually it's going to go up, eventually it's going to go up. Well, a lot of times these coins just kept declining, and it literally took them 2 years just to kind of, 2.5 years to get to where they were before. So, buying the dip is good, but a lot of times, like that meme, buy one dip, get the second one free. So they just keep going. So, yeah, always be careful what you're DCing into. And even if, like Dudois said, it has the best roadmap, it could still fall because of the current market state, or just people are jumping to the next shiny object. So, yeah, good stuff there. Appreciate that, man. Good stuff. Um, Next, looking at some of the comments here in the live stream is, let's see, Farzan said, I think right now Daniel is invested mostly on sushi and V33. So, yeah, that's a big thing. Again, I mentioned earlier in the stream, V33 is kind of that new protocol that is created by Andre and Danny. Andre Cronje is one of the big proponents of the Phantom Network, over 300,000 followers, and Danny's the same way. Basically, there's a big airdrop happening to the top 20, I believe, holders of the TVL Phantom networks. It's like Spirit Swap, Spooky Swap, a lot of those big ones, right? So that's why those coins were pumping earlier in the year. And Cream Finance, that was actually a coin that can actually bring up real quick. Side note is, Cream Finance is one where if you stake it by January 27th, then you are going to be exposed to the V33 airdrop through Iron Bank. And Iron Bank is actually, they are giving people, I believe it is 40% of the total V33 airdrop, so the token, and that's going to be huge because a lot of people are trying to get it for that. And although the token is going to be airdropped, it's over a 4-year vesting period. But again, if you are bullish on the token, and like we've seen the market cycles, 4 years, you could be set for life. Anyone's guess. And you have to stake Cream on their website. I believe it's for at least a year, Ice Cream. And then you'd be eligible if you are staking for a year before the January 27th date. So check my video. I made a video about Cream Finance. It's up 26% today, which is insane. So it looks like it has rebounded nicely. So definitely, if you haven't checked it out, go and check that out. But yeah, Farzan, good point about Danny being invested on Sushi and V33. So, and then Farzan also said, and I believe they're mostly focused on increasing the value for WMemo. Yeah, that's also another one. And then Dixon says VAR FYI. Dixon, I'm not sure about VAR, if that's a token, if you could just clarify that. And then Andre says, a very quick look at Velas sounds too good to be true. Thanks. So yeah, Velas is one that actually, I believe they had a partnership with, it was like a Ferrari. I think I saw an article about that a week or two ago. And they pumped, they had this huge pump. You can see here, January 4th, all the way up to 55 cents. Till then, they haven't been doing too good. But again, it's a good buying price potentially now. Looking real quick, just a quick summary. Their volume is 10 million. Their market cap is 568 million. So again, rank 104. Still potential for growth, for people who are looking for maybe more stable projects per se versus something that's ranked like 500 or 1,000. But real quick, gonna go on their Twitter. I'll take a look at that. So Velas says the world's fastest EVM blockchain and ecosystem for smart contracts and dApps. So they have 113,000 followers. They're followed by Bittrex Global, a couple other big names, KuCoin and Syscoin, actually. Wow. So they're followed by some pretty big names. And it says, try to find all the hidden words they have on their Twitter. So yeah, their latest tweet was yesterday. So again, looks like very active in their Twitter at least. And then just kind of seeing what else they've tweeted. And yeah, a lot of bullish tweets on it. Going to their website here. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see. So their website actually looks pretty cool. It says we have the fastest EVM chain to compete with Ethereum 2.0. Now, for those who don't know, Ethereum 2.0 has been talked about being released for over 3-4 years, right? They've constantly pushed it back. They're really trying to switch over to that proof of stake and really finalize Ethereum 2.0 to be the end-all be-all, right? So it's bullish. When Ethereum 2.0 does come out, I believe it's going to have a great effect on Ethereum. Until then, it's kind of just a big talking point, right? But yeah, Vitalik was on a stream and they were talking about releasing it this year, towards the latter end of this year. So there'll have to be something to see. But Velas is the fork of Solana with embedded EVM integration. Mainnet launched in 2019. So their mainnet was launched a while back. Scrolling down, let's see what they have here. Fastest EVM hybrid chain, provide a scalable solution for dApps with up to 75,000 transactions per second. That's insane. I believe Solana only has around 50,000. And it says the Velas blockchain includes... let's see, the fastest EVM hybrid chain inherited best from Solana and applied to the EVM world. I will say their ties to Solana, hopefully they don't have a lot of the same network issues that Solana has. So hopefully they fix that. Solidity supports all smart contracts built on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, that's pretty good. Instant low-cost transactions. Extremely efficient performance at a fraction of the cost. That's good. Staking, stake to support decentralized and get rewards. And then it says they're developing the following products. Yeah, this website's pretty crazy. It's kind of going slow because all the animations here. A user-friendly entry point to the Velas ecosystem. So that looks like it's 75% complete. Looks like you can make an account and they have their own wallet and everything. Let's see, scrolling down here. Private and passwordless access everywhere from your mobile device. That's pretty good. They have, their own mobile app. Crypto payment infrastructure for the internet. Wow, pay with VLX. Okay, this is pretty cool. Low cost, trustless, and instant transactions. Dude, have you heard of Velas at all? All right, keep going. I think he's away right now. It says you don't need to spend months integrating a payment functionality within your app. Wow. So these guys look like they have their own payment system as well as being very fast with up to 75,000 transactions per second. A fork of Solana network looking to compete with Ethereum 2.0. Yeah, I see what you mean, Andre. It does look too good to be true. But I mean, if what they're saying is true, and again, they look like they've been meeting all their deadlines and all their roadmaps, that could be very, very good. So it says here, all softwares require constant updates that fix problems and improve performance levels. In the cryptocurrency world, such updates are called forks. So here they talk about soft fork, hard forks. I'm assuming this is to some updates they've had. Yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. It looks like they have some reputable people behind them. So Andre, it could be a good buy here. Like I said, the price, since January 4th hasn't been doing as well. So I would just be worried about that, right? I know prices don't go up in a constant, don't go up endlessly, but just, for example, looking at, let's just pick a coin that's been doing, relatively well. I believe, even Cosmos coin, right? Cosmos coin, looking for that, so, it was doing relatively well. I mean, yeah, it's ups and downs, but it was constantly reaching those all-time highs. So Velas is just one that I would, just be wary of. If it has been showing a strong, there's no recent retest of the all-time highs, etc. So yeah, just keep that in mind if it is losing momentum, depending if they have any big roadmaps up there. But again, their website looks nice. Their Twitter still sees engagement. I have to look at their Telegram, see if they have any announcements in there. But yeah, could be something, possibly down the line. But right now looks like it has lost some traction. So maybe some interest being lost there, but definitely we'll keep an eye on that one. Thanks for sharing. Marco says, any opinion on Vader and XPR? Dudwa, you heard of Vader or XPR?
I have not heard of Vader or XPR. One point on Velas.
Yep.
If it's a Solana fork, I'm pretty sure they're going to have the same network issues as Solana. So I would probably steer clear from that one.
Yep. Yeah, that's something I was mentioning. If, like I said, Solana has had their network problems, right? Velas being a fork could have similar issues, especially with faster transactions. They haven't got the network load that Solana has had. But if that happens, are they ready for it? Definitely something to keep in mind. So yeah, good points there.
Yep. as an alternative to that, like maybe just look at like something like what is it, Talos, right? Mm-hmm. It's built on the same protocol that EOS is built on, so also kind of competing with Ethereum, and has those same sort of things with faster transactions, lower transaction fees, all that sort of stuff. So maybe that's an alternative to look at as opposed to Velas, Andre.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. No. Good eye, and yeah, good point there. Definitely something to keep in mind. So yeah, for Vader, real quick, I'll pull that up. I know Vader. There's some people that I know that are very bullish on Vader. I want to say if it was a ZK protocol or not. It's up right now. 1.7%. Not too bad. Let's see, real quick. Let's go to their Twitter account and see what they're about. So their Twitter, 21,000 followers. They are followed by some pretty big names, which is great to see. So again, some good backing there. Let's see. It says, in short, this will be bullish for Vader protocol and anyone who else can see pull off of Ethereum native stablecoin that provides privacy for users. Okay, yeah. So basically, they're an Ethereum native stablecoin that provides privacy for users, which that's great, right? And I was mentioning ZK protocols whenever we were talking about the Dusk network, right? Dusk is being a good ZK coin. It's already up 60 cents. That's awesome. XFT was one I was talking about as well, a ZK coin, right? $11.40. That's up nice. So again, ZK coins I'm bullish on. I think they're definitely going to have a big narrative in 2022 because everyone loves privacy. So anything that relates to privacy could be a good pickup from here. With that said, the narrative may not catch on right away. It may take 3, 4, 5 months to catch on, right? So definitely something to keep in mind if you are buying these ZK coins. But again, Vader is one I've heard about. So definitely Marco. Yeah, good pick for there. Just looking at their Twitter. Again, the last time they were tweeting stuff, January 21st, Zapper is actually a pretty big protocol. It has over 124,000 followers. They said this week our Terminators integrated and Vader Protocol looks like they integrated that into their system. So check your balances at zapper.fi. So Vader Protocol has been recognized, which is good to see. A lot more eyes on it. And it says here, Vader retweeted, few understand the symbiotic relationship between Vader Protocol and Afro Finance, mutually benefiting the USDV ecosystem. Afro simps for Vader and will be pioneering a new wave of sustainable liquidity mining. So that's something pretty cool. Let's go ahead and look at their Twitter or not their Twitter, sorry, their website and see what they got. So again, website is usually a point to keep in mind. If they spend a good time on their website, at least they do have that going for them, right? And it does create some more interest. So it looks like here they have a little learn more link. So click that. And it says, the father of decentralized liquidity. Become part of something bigger than yourself. A fairer financial system without a central authority. Swap, LP, borrow, lend, mint interest-bearing cents, and more in a fairly distributed governance, minimal protocol built to last. So it looks like they have a lot of cool things here. A lot of different features. They have impermanent loss protection. Provide liquidity for core curated pools with impermanent loss protection, a reward for those who help build a stronger ecosystem. Impermanent loss protection covers the risk you take by becoming a longer-term core liquidity provider. So that's really cool. As I said, I mentioned earlier in the stream, impermanent loss is something a lot of people deal with, right? If you're staked in a coin, like say a Radium, Solana liquidity pairing, and one coin goes up like 200%, well, you're going to incur impermanent loss if the other coin you're holding only goes up a couple percent because it's constantly trying to rebalance your portfolio. You're going to lose some of those gains that you would have had, maybe 8 to 10% gains that you could have made. Your loss with them, you lose with impermanent loss. They have collateralized stablecoin. Yeah, everything I'm looking at least right now, Vader Protocol looks to be pretty good. Again, looking at their action right now for their coin. Let's go ahead and just look at the chart real quick. Looking at all. So right now, there was some big bullish action that reached an all-time high January 5th of 13 cents. Since then, it hasn't been doing horrible, but again, it has kind of that downtrend there. What I would be looking at, I can really quick pull it up on Dex Tools, is for it to regain some of this, basically, some of this downtrend that it has incurred, right? So let's see if they have, let's go to the Ethereum network and let's go and search Vader real quick. And yeah, guys, if you have any coins you want me to look at or just some opinions, definitely go and leave them in the comments. Be more than happy to answer. But just looking at the chart real quick. So we can see right now that, let's see if it's on the 1 day. So yeah, I'll just draw some quick support resistance lines for y'all. So just real quick, let's see right there. Big support is going to be at 7 cents, which means it's resistance right now. Possibly some good support where it's at, about 5.5 cents if you're looking for it on a pullback. And then right there at about 3.8 cents. And then real quick, just talking about some downtrends here. So real quick on the daily. Again, I wouldn't trust this downtrend too much since it hasn't had much history on the daily. But I would say, yeah, big resistance is going to be around 8 cents. I'll just say that right now for its downtrend. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we can see probably a little bit more. Let's see if I can. So, yeah, it looks like on the 4-hour chart, at least it did have a semi downtrend here that it did break, right? So January 22nd, it did break that downtrend and has been holding that support. So right now wouldn't be the worst time to buy it. I would definitely say if it breaks this swing low that it had, call it at 4.8 cents. If it breaks this swing low, I'd definitely get out or set that as a stop loss if you are thinking about getting out, and then look to rebuy around this 3.8 cent level. But really your closest resistance to look for is going to be at that 7 cent mark. If Vader breaks this 7 cent mark, definitely can see it increasing that bullish sentiment there and going from there. So just some quick levels there if you're looking at buying. So hopefully I answered that question, Marco, for you. And then XPR is Proton. I'll really quick go over XPR. And guys, if you could give the video a like, I really appreciate it. Helps get this stream out to a lot of people. We're trying to help out as many people as we can. Again, Dude Wall's in the chat, moderator of the Discord. If you haven't joined the Discord, please join that as well. Links in the description and in my Twitter at the CryptoData. So looking at XPR Proton, haven't heard of this coin yet. It's up 3.5% to 1 cent. Really quick, looking at the overview chart. The chart looks like crap. So basically it's been very bearish, it looks like, all the way since April 6th of 2020. It hasn't done much at all. The last breakout it tried to have got rejected harshly in October 20th, and since then it's been doing bad. Right away, I would stay away from this coin. Just looking at the overview. The volume's 3.5 million, not horrible. Market cap still relatively low with 92 million, FDV of 127 million. But really, I wouldn't. I can look at the Twitter and stuff, 35,000 followers, followed by some big names. Unless they have some big updates coming up, again, doesn't look too bullish. Let's see what they got on their Twitter. Let's see. It's basically says they're the payment blockchain with no gas fees, brought to you by Metal Pays Me. Webbot, the Proton Swap. Let's see. So it says use Proton Loan where transactions are fast, free, scalable, and most importantly, decentralized. So it looks like they provide some loans. So that's something there. I would have to see if they've recently had a big update or some mainnet or testnet they've come out with. Because if that's happened, again, if any protocol, for example, Dusk came out in 2018, I believe, and then they were releasing their testnet in about 9 days, February 1st. So now they've started gaining a lot of traction, right? So that's something I'll never discredit a crypto if they have a testnet or mainnet coming up, because usually that's a big catalyst for more stuff to come. So if these guys have one of those things up, or they have some big development they had, I'd be bullish on it. But just looking at the chart, again, doesn't look too bullish, okay? Any rally has quickly been sold off. So that's what I would say. Just be careful, Marco, if you are investing in Proton, because it doesn't look too good right now. I'd have to do more research on their website and any updates they have if they are, have any big developments coming up that could cause a pump in price. But just the price action over the past, year and a half, 2 years doesn't look too promising. So hopefully I helped you out there. Rory said, you said you were looking for a good opportunity to short. Which PA level were you thinking about? Yeah, Rory, no problem, man. So I mentioned before, again, looking for big opportunities to short here, right? Well, we're getting a nice pump here on Bitcoin. So what could be a good opportunity to short? Well, let's see. I'm going to draw some trend lines here. I know I have a ton of lines up here. Try not to confuse you guys. I'm just trying to find something that could be... Okay, so here's one I see. And Dude Wall, if you have any comments as I'm talking, feel free to chime in, interrupt me.
I was just gonna say maybe now is a good time to short. Asian markets haven't woken up and it's pumped, so we'll see.
Here's a trend line I drew from July 31st on the daily, right? Acted as resistance, support. Right now we're coming up, and you can see this trend line actually coincides here with another resistance. So I would say if Bitcoin gets up to about 36,800, so about $500 more from where it's at right now, that would be a good place to short. Looking at Ethereum right now, it's at 2532. Let me see real quick.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I think a little while ago when we were talking, it did hit 36,800 and then fell back to like 36,200 or something like that.
Oh, so, nice. Okay. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, thanks. My opinion again right now is short all the pumps until proven otherwise. That's kind of the play that's been happening for the past 3-4 weeks. So we'll see if that keeps happening here. But again, real quick, looking at Ethereum, I'm just trying to find any lines right now that'd be a good place to short. Obviously this resistance here at 2760, 2750, if it gets up to there, definitely short that. Closer to that, I would say, even looking all the way back here, I would say if it gets to 2618, you can see here, that was resistance, turned support all the way back to August 2021. So definitely gets back up to there. I would say maybe a little, start opening a short there. And then really, I'd be looking at that 2750 level for Ethereum. If it gets up there, I'd be shorting a lot, honestly. So hopefully that helps out. Let's see. Jay Constant says, yep, BTC pumping, short squeeze maybe. Yeah, definitely think a short squeeze could be happening. A lot of late shorters trying to get in. Maybe they sold their stablecoin. They're trying to get on some gains. Again, you always know the whipsaw that happens with crypto, right? Big dump happens. A lot of people try to short it, and then the whipsaw long happens. A lot of people get short squeezed, and then people FOMO in, and then short happens again, right? So don't fall into this. Wait till it gets to big support levels or resistance levels to buy or sell from there. Next, Jay Constant says dump in 12 or 42 minutes. Yeah, could be a dump happening shortly again. Like Dudewall was saying, the Chinese markets are going to wake up soon. Bitcoin bad, sell Bitcoin. After they see this dump, they could be dumping more. We'll have to see what happens. Let's see. Jovins has a lot of emojis on there. YouTube. Yep. Appreciate the support there. Definitely like the video if you haven't, guys. Trying to help out as many people with this stream. So definitely could do that. Would help out the channel a lot. And then Kami says, hey man, wanted to ask if there's ever time for you portfolio 100% into coins or some percent in stables is must. So Kamis, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. I would say never have 100% of your portfolio in coins, in crypto. Always, always, always have some in stables. I recommend always keeping like a 20-80 split. So at least 20% in stables, 80% in crypto. Now, I will caveat that, and Dudewalt probably has some comments on this as well. In downturns like this, it's never bad to flip that, right? 80% in stables, 20% in crypto. Or I know Dudewalt, I believe he has nearly 100% of his portfolio in stables right now because, again, when you have a clear downtrend, it's pretty bad to try to catch a falling knife, right? Now, crypto, coins with a lot of fundamentally strong principles do tend to bounce back pretty good. But as we were looking at with the chart that we had up of these three charts here, even coins with the best fundamentals, Neo, Waves, ARK, during a bear market, they just declined hard. They went, 70, 80, 90% losses. And that was for at least a couple of years, right? Or a year before they bounced again. So your coin could just keep going down. So with that said, that's why I would lean in these bear markets towards that 80-20 split, 80% stables, 20% crypto, or even more. But if you haven't sold anything yet, I mean, I don't know if I'd sell right now. I mean, I almost say ride it out or wait for these pumps to happen. Try to get out a little bit to secure some stables just in case we keep dropping, right? We don't know what's going to happen with the Fed. It's uncertain with Russia, everything, right? The Ukraine crisis, the border crisis, all that. So interest rates rising, we don't know, right? So I would say, yeah, in times like these, probably at least 50-50 stables, 80-20 stables. Dudewalt, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I agree, definitely. I mean, in times like these, you want to stay mostly in stables, or again, look to make those plays where you get into something that like pumps within one day, and you get out like in that same day, like within a few hour time frame, or just have very tight stop losses, and then of course the short plays as well. But as far as like Kamis's original question is if there's ever a time to be 100% into coins. I think there are certain times where you want to be 100% into coins. Like, I'll give you some examples. Maybe October 2021. Like at that time, you probably wanted to be 100% into coins because everything was pumping its brains out. Between January to March of 2021, you want to be 100% into coins. Maybe even going back to like November of 2020, you want to be 100% into coins. So yeah, I think there are certain times where you want to be 100% in. But it's like, it's far and few in between. Like most of the time, you want to have some percentage on the sidelines. So if there is like a dip, you can buy in.
Yep, definitely. No, very good advice. Very, very good advice. Thanks for the question, Thomas. Appreciate that. Crypto Gaming says Darth Vader. Yep, just look at the Vader coin. Andre says, thanks guys. Thanks for your support. Keep doing a great job. Appreciate that. Hey, Andre, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining the stream and thanks for the support. Kevin says, like. Yep, guys, appreciate it. Please like the stream if you can. Probably going to go on for another 10 minutes or so and then end the stream here. So again, any questions you have, leave them in the comments. And then Kevin says, guys, what do you think about Rome DAO? Thank you. So Rome DAO I have not heard of. I'll go ahead and search real quick, see what their Let's see. It's not on CoinMarketCap. Let's see if it's on CoinGecko real quick. Rome DAO. Rome DAO's not on there either. I'm assuming the ticker symbol is just Rome. Yeah, it looks like it's just Rome. So real quick, looking at the max chart, we can see it started around probably around $67,000 when it had its first. Or sorry, I'm looking at the market cap. Ooh, so it started at $1,600 and has went all the way down to $80. That is no bueno. That looks.
Yeah, just stay away from that one.
Yeah, Kevin, I would say steer clear of this, man. It's not looking good at all. The price action, it looks like it's a dead cat, and it's not bouncing anytime soon. If they have any updates coming, right, maybe. But again, man, just looking at this, I look at price action that's at least somewhat sustainable, some type of pump. But yeah, Rome DAO, I definitely stay away from that. I know a lot of DAO coins, specifically like, again, the OHM forks, they haven't been performing that well over the past couple of weeks, months. But again, if they have some updates coming on their Twitter or anything coming up, it could be a good buy here. But yeah, man, even just a 30-day chart, I mean, heck, you know, from January 5th, $533, and now it's $80. So yeah, man, I would steer clear of it for now. There's really no pumps happening, and it just looks like a constant decline. So it seems like any rebates or any rewards that people are getting, they're constantly selling them. So yeah, man, I would stay away from that personally.
Yeah, unless you have some insider information, there's probably less risky stuff that you can see a better ROI on. So yeah, just stay away.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Rory says 100 in stables for sure. So yeah, Rory's right now, he's in stables. Yeah, Rory, again, not bad advice, right? Staying in stable coins. You know, definitely on this price action right now, definitely could be good to stay with stables until we get like I said, for Bitcoin, if y'all are looking when to enter, I would say this big trend line, right? Let's see if I can make this a better color. No. So just, let's see if I can make it teal. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so this teal line, right? Until Bitcoin breaks this teal line, the downtrend's still in, right? Like, yeah, you may get some short-term pumps, but until it breaks this teal line, this long-term downtrend, I still have a bearish bias. Todd says, WaxP, what's your thoughts? I heard Amazon has a ownership in them. So yeah, WaxP, those who don't know what WaxP is, it's a big NFT or ecosystem, and actually they were one of the first that kind of was tied into gaming, right? So WaxP had like some rewards for like gaming, and like you could buy in-game merchandise with the WaxP token. It's really big back in the day. You can see, you know, when they released, it went from 78 cents all the way to a high of 250. Since then, you know, it hasn't done too much from 2018, 19, 2020, and then recently started gaining some traction. Just looking at the monthly chart, the monthly chart doesn't look too bullish. Again, constantly declining. It looks like from the 22nd, it's had some rise, but I think that's with all altcoins. If they do have some type of catalyst, Rory, or like you said, Amazon has some ownership in them. If there's some big catalyst for that, I can definitely see WaxP, you know, increasing from here. But just looking at the chart, it doesn't look the best right now. I'll take a quick look at their Twitter, see if they have anything they've mentioned. 241,000 followers. Again, it's an OG coin. Came out back in 2018. A lot of big followers. Again, for the hype, I don't know if the hype's there right now. I do think a lot of other coins are starting to get into the metaverse, i.e. Syscoin I was talking about, Rose, a couple other big names, right? Looks, that was a big one, get into the NFT space. So WaxP may have, I don't know, kind of fallen off the boat, kind of, you know, the new kids on the block are gaining a lot of traction. So I would just be careful when investing with these, especially if the chart doesn't look as good. Again, unless you know some information that others don't, or some big partnership coming along, or some big roadmap announcement coming up. Yeah, I'm staying away right now, just looking at all of that. But again, everyone has their own opinion. Let's see. Someone says VOR in Go. So let me look at that coin, VOR in Go. I'm not sure if that's a coin or not. Yeah, not seeing that as a ticker symbol. So if you could, yeah, have a link or something. But Camus says, thanks for the answer, guys. Hey, no problem, man. Definitely glad to help you out any way we can. And then Kevin says, thank you guys for good information, good stream. Hey, Kevin, appreciate it, man. Again, appreciate all your support. Please give the stream a like if you can. Again, really helps the stream. Trying to provide as much information as we can for free, help you guys out. If you haven't joined the Discord, please do so. Links in the description as well. I'm going to go on for another 5 minutes in case anyone has some closing remarks. Dude, any remarks as far as, again, the market as a whole? Any altcoins you've been bullish on? Anything you're looking at?
Yeah, I think my one piece of closing advice is probably don't marry any of your coins. Just always keep your head on a swivel and keep looking to ride whatever current narrative there is. If you marry your coins, most likely, unless it's like Bitcoin, it's not going to work out in the end. So just be careful of that.
Checks, yeah. I know there's some big coins, right? Like, a lot of people were bullish on Trava Finance. I know we were talking about that last stream. It's still not doing horrible, right? 0.0085. Still holding up relatively well. But yeah, like Dudewall was saying, right? If you're married to a coin, you could get wrecked, right? Because there's so much rotation going on with all of these coins. A lot of times, like the rotation, I remember for the longest time was, Binance Coin, then people went to Matic, the Polygon network, and then people went to Terra Luna, right? They went to that one. So again, there's always going to be rotations for different coins. I would say follow the rotation. If you're in profit, I highly, highly recommend taking some profit and going to something else, right? Or at least taking out your initial investment, right? That's the biggest thing I can say with any of these cryptos is like, say for example, you buy, I'll use one of these coins I like. So say you buy Dusk, right? You buy it at 50 cents, it goes up to 60 cents. Start taking some profit off the table. Don't think it's going to just keep going up, right? This thing could very well drop down to 30, 20 cents, right? So take some profit along the way. If the coin doubles, definitely take out your initial investment. Do not just take a double, just like don't take profit on it. Please take out your initial investment so you're riding the rest as a moon bag. And that goes for any of these coins, no matter how bullish they are, right? Because something like this could happen where the market just, craps the bed and for whatever reason, and now we're in a bear market, right? Which we have been in for the past couple of months. Again, until Bitcoin breaks this turquoise trend line, I am not turning bullish yet on the whole crypto market as a whole. So I always recommend that. Taking out your initial investment as soon as you can so you have a moon bag, getting in stables, is waiting for the next buy opportunity at big support levels with that. But looking at like there's no other comments. Again, my closing remarks here. Please like the stream. Join the Discord if you haven't. Links in the description. Follow me on Twitter at @TheCryptoData. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Appreciate all the support. We really appreciate it. We'll try to have the stream weekly, Sunday, same time, unless any of the Discord members want to change it. But yeah, definitely join us every Sunday at 1600 UTC or 1600 CST, 2200 UTC. And with that, Dudewall, unless you got anything, thanks for watching, everyone.